And here is the Writer's Almanac for Tuesday. It's December the 10th, 2019. It's the birthday of the woman who wrote, "My life had stood a loaded gun in corners till a day the owner passed, identified, and carried me away." The poet Emily Dickinson, born Amherst, 1830. A reclusive writer, especially in the latter part of her life, about whom little is known, and yet books continue to be written about her. Lyndall Gordon published a biography called Lives Like Loaded Guns, Emily Dickinson and Her Family's Feuds, in which she puts forward the theory that Emily Dickinson was epileptic and that explains the strange jolts and bursts of her language, and also thinks that epilepsy would explain Emily Dickinson's reclusiveness. The disease was still very much stigmatized in the 19th century. Most of Gordon's biography, though, is about the Dickinson family, a prominent family in Amherst. Emily's father, very severe. Emily Dickinson didn't learn to tell time until she was 15 because she was afraid to tell her father that she hadn't understood his explanation of clocks. Emily Dickinson had two siblings, Austin and Lavinia. Austin was handsome, an accomplished man, a very public person, served on many committees, took part in civic projects, and had a 13-year love affair with Mabel Loomis Todd, the wife of an Amherst astronomy professor. Nonetheless, was still very involved in his church. Austin Dickinson and Mabel Todd met in the Dickinson home downstairs for their trysts in the living room at a time when Emily was confined upstairs. It was a very complicated family situation. Emily and Austin's wife, Susan, were very close. Susan was aware of the affair with Mabel Todd. Emily Dickinson gave Susan Dickinson more than 250 of her poems over the years to read, wrote more than 300 letters to Susan, who lived next door. But it was Mabel, Austin Dickinson's mistress, Mabel, whom Emily Dickinson never once met face to face, who ended up editing the poems, publishing them, and making Emily Dickinson famous. After Emily died in 1886, her sister Lavinia found nearly 1,800 poems in Emily's desk and realized how good they were. The first collection came out in 1890. It was very popular, went through 11 editions in a year. It was on this day, 1884, Mark Twain's The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn was first published. He started out to write a sequel to The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, but gave up on that and decided to write in the voice of Huckleberry Finn, in dialect, a book that opens with the line, "You don't know about me without you have read a book by the name of The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, but that ain't no matter." It was Ernest Hemingway who said all modern literature comes from one book by Mark Twain, and he was referring to Huckleberry Finn. It was on this day, 1906, Theodore Roosevelt became the first American to win the Nobel Peace Prize for having helped to broker a peace agreement between Russia and Japan the previous year. Here are two little poems for today by Emily Dickinson. Faith is a fine invention when gentlemen can see, but microscopes are prudent in an emergency. And this poem. I like a look of agony because I know it's true. Men do not sham convulsion, nor simulate a throe. The eyes glaze once, and that is death, impossible to feign. The beads upon the forehead, by homely anguish strung. Two little poems by Emily Dickinson, Faith is a Fine Invention, and I Like a Look of Agony. That's the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.